good day to you, beautiful human. It's Ros Loxton here, and my question for you today is about self-trust. Where do you trust yourself, and where don't you trust yourself? And what does that mean for you? How does that impact your life? The lack of self-trust I've spotted here and there externally, in people around me this week. And the lack of self-trust can really lead to the experience of self-abandonment. And you don't realize you're self-abandoning, but when you abandon yourself, you feel scared. There's a sense of aloneness, and there's a hole that you're seeking someone or something outside of you to fill. And that's a pure sign that you're self-abandoned. You don't know how to fill the hole in your own soul or heart. So that's the juicy topic on today's My Best Self Journal reflection. So we're up to week 2 of month 6, and month 6 is all about vision. And vision is a whole chakra. Using the chakra system to understand our biology and all its different departments, of how we work as a human biology. And vision, encapsulates intuition, your insights, your sense of perception, your sense of perspective being your filters. How do you filter life? And then how do you make meaning of how you filter life? Now what am I making it mean? And now how am I going to respond to that and behave around that? So it kind of pays to get it right, and also how do you vision for your future? How do you see your future looking, whether that's in 5 minutes or 5 days or 5 months or 5 years, because how we vision our future is generally going to have a massive impact on how we manifest our future. So the vision part of how we work, as a biological, soul, spiritual, energetic human, the vision part is massive. And I've been listening to some of the commentary on the Olympics, because it's, the Olympics are on at the moment, and a lot of the athletes in interviews with athletes from the past talk about their coaches doing this vision piece where the coach gets them to really visualize themselves, like the swimmer Lisa Kyrie was talking about how her coach said swim and see yourself touching the pool, the end of the pool, the finish line first. Really visualize what that looks like, and then really visualize what it feels like. What it feels like when you touch it and then you look and you go, I'm the one that touched first. I won the race. I'm the winner. And feel the ecstaticness, of that. And it's a real practice. It's powerful. I learned to ride a Harley Davidson motorcycle by visioning that. I had to wait 10 months, never ridden a motorbike on the road before. I only as a kid rode a little bike through the bush sort of thing and stacked it. Never rode a street bike, a road bike on the highway. And the person I was with at the time must have been going through a midlife crisis, wanted a motorbike, and so we both got a Harley Davidson. And I got a Harley Davidson called a Fat Boy, so it's a big motorbike, and I had to wait 10 months for it to come get to Australia. It was an anniversary model, so they just weren't around, and I had to wait 10 months. It was a long wait, and I used to go and look in the window of Morgan & Wacker at those motorcycles, and I would stare at it, and I would imagine myself sitting on it. I would imagine myself riding out of the motorcycle Morgan & Wacker store out onto the road, and I could feel the motorbike, I could feel the air, I could feel the sensations, and I just experienced it lots and lots every week, all the time. I was riding my motorbike in my visioning. So when I got on it, it felt like second nature to get on that bike and ride away. And I remember then I went and had lessons. It's to get a road open license, and I had motorbike lessons, and the motorbike, the trainer said, you're just absolute natural. You're an absolute natural. And I'm like, I am now, because I rode heaps. I rode all the time in my envisioning. I envisioned it and I felt it. And so underestimate, I can't undersell how having an intention, a deliberate intention, a deliberate vision goes such a long way to what we manifest. And be super careful. Warning, we do it accidentally for the opposite. We can catastrophize, and using fear, we can start to visualize the worst case scenario. What if this happens? What if that happens? And horrible things. And you don't want that, right? You don't want to be envisioning that. You want to envision the best case scenario. And yeah, it takes some energy. It takes a dedication to yourself to stop what you're doing, turn off the devices, turn off the TV, get out of all the distraction, and sit with yourself long enough to do the exercise. And that's what it takes. And you can't escape the effort it takes to be your best self, because it's an effort. And look, laziness is not going to get you anywhere. And I feel sorry for anybody that is cursed with laziness. It can just be a conditioned behavior. Make the effort to be your best self, because good life comes from it, and it's totally worth it, And I've watched the longevity line of even my own family, and there's 5 children in my family, and I've watched the start line all the way through to now, where like I'm in my 50s, and so all my brothers and sisters are of a similar ilk, and I can see the difference between making the effort to do the self-work, making the effort to do all of this, self-training and self-healing and self-directing. I can see the difference between doing none of it and doing some of it and doing a lot of it. And I am never going to stop doing a lot of it, because, I use my bliss filter, I use my intention, I use my visioning, and I'm happy with my life. I'm grateful for my beautiful partner, grateful for my health. I'm grateful for who I am and what I care about. I'm grateful for life. Life is hard, it's sad, it's tragic, it can be scary. There's so much going on, but my world, my life within all of that, I've built it deliberately, and I can only encourage and recommend that people do that, which is why we're here doing this together. Awesome human. So week 2 of month 6 is in that vision space, okay? And the nuance of that is trust. Trust. This week, contemplate and reflect, journal, on your relationship with trust. Do you trust yourself? Don't you trust yourself? I've worked with people who, in every moment of the day ask you, should I do this? Should I say that? What would you do here? And I'm like, I'm trying to have my own day and do my own set of tasks and things, and think about my own decisions and trust my own counsel, let alone needing to counsel you as well. Now I am a counselor, so ask away. That is what my career and what my role is. Trust your own counsel. And it's difficult to do that if you haven't built the muscle of understanding with great nuance exactly who you are. What are your skills? What are your natural genius? What's your profile? What's your human design? What is your Myers disc? What is your what's the other one which I like to use, and the word's escaping me? Disc profile. What are all the nuances of your profile? Answer all those questions. Become deeply aware of the creature you are in this jungle, and know how to get the best out of yourself. A part of that then is when you know what creature you are in the jungle, when you know what your natural genius is, when you know what your kryptonite is, and who are all the board members, of the directors in the background of your psyche, then you know how to trust yourself. And you can trust yourself really in the little decisions and the big hard decisions. Hard decisions like, is this the right partner for me? Should I stay in this relationship? Should I keep living in this house, or should I sell it and move, or should I stay in this career, in this job, or should I move or go, you know? And some of us have a much harder time making those big decisions, maybe because you're undefined spleen in human design, maybe because you haven't built the habit of trusting yourself and making big decisions because you haven't visioned what's right for you, you don't understand what's right for your soul and heart. That's why we're doing this, so you can understand all of that. In order to show up as your best self in every moment of your life, what do you need to trust more fully? So answer that journal prompt. Get as much honesty with yourself as you can. Hopefully you'll have an insight and a breakthrough. And the second part of that question is, what is going to change? What's going to change? Really answer the question. Really, really dig in and answer with as much honesty as possible. What's going to change when you fully lean into self-trust and you trust the perspectives that things are happening for you, not to you? You know, there's a belief system that we choose this life. You've chosen your parents. You've chosen all the major situations that you're going to encounter to get so that situation can help you to move through a learning, to evolve that part of your your biology, because it's through our our breakdowns that we have our breakthroughs. So a wonderful journal week in month 6, week 2, and month 6 being all about vision. Tethering that journal prompt to your what's my major intention for becoming my best self, and really allowing my best self to come through. Also, another reminder that I am looking for people to hold space. Nothing to do with me. I don't get anything out of it, except maybe if you buy these books, which is such a tiny profit margin in it, it's redonkulous. This is the way I can help the world in a way that is affordable, because coaching, counseling, psychology, all of that can be extremely expensive and unattainable for a lot of people who really do need it and want it. So this is a super affordable way that I can bring to the world. So the Purple Lilac book is for the facilitator. I would like to get as many facilitators across the world as possible to hold mastermind groups or circle groups where you take a group of people through this journal. You have monthly meetings where you all hold space together and support each other through that month. How did you all go through that month? What were your insights? And you help each other flesh out and understand each other's process. And this is your guide as the facilitator of that circle group. So please consider being a facilitator. I recommend having monthly meetings. Do it face to face, in the park, at your house, at a hall, or do it online, through Zoom or whatever platform works for you. All right, awesome humans. I will see you in week 3 of month 6 next week. Until then, I wish you big encouragement and very big love for your best self. You can do it. Bye for now.